All right, what up, everybody? Y'all know this is y'all boy Solo Foe, and y'all know this is So What's the Issue? Today I'm going to be talking about what's wrong with Section 8 living. Now, a lot of people, I know this is going to rub y'all the wrong way because a lot of people are on Section 8 and stuff like that, and I know the arguments against it and stuff like that, but today I'm going to be telling y'all about why I feel it's wrong for, what Section 8 living does. What Section 8 living does in our community is it breeds and creates a lazy person. Now, y'all don't want to hear that it breeds and creates a lazy person, but this is what Section 8 living does. And I have a problem with this mentality because what is the first thing that we tell our kids whenever they're growing up? Oh yeah, when you turn 18, you're going to get the F out my house. You're going to go get you a house. And then we actually start teaching our kids like, hey, so look, this is what the Section 8 program is. This is what this is. And my opinion is that you're creating a failure before your child is even a failure. And it upsets me because y'all don't actually understand what that's doing to your children. It's creating another breed of lazy people. And now y'all don't want to hear that. But the first thing that I'm going to attack, nobody wants their tax money being spent on somebody that's not trying to get up on their feet. So what I mean by that is, what is the purpose of the Section 8 living? The purpose of the Section 8 living is to help somebody that's down on their fortune, down on their luck, somebody that's youthful between the ages of like 16 through like 23, 24. It's supposed to be to help one of these people get up on their feet to make sure that they have a chance at life. But what happens in our community is, and not just with our community, it's the white community, it's the Mexican community, but what it does is it breeds a lazy person. So most people that you see that are on Section 8 living, how many kids do they got? They usually got like anywhere between 3 to 7 kids. Like, they got anywhere between 3 to 7 kids on Section 8 living. And it's a truth that people don't actually want to hear about. But this type of mentality is breeding more laziness because, once again, the kids tell the next set of kids to pass down this next set of rules and stuff like that. Like, we don't teach anything in our community. But at the same time, what we do pass down is this Section 8 mentality. This is the one thing that I can say that we pass down for sure is this Section 8 mentality. So now when your child has a child at the age of 15, once your child has a child at the age of 15, then they go on to have 2 and 3 more kids because this whole lifestyle is putting them inside of a box, and it doesn't make them want to go work for anything in life. It doesn't put them in the mentality of like, I need to go strive for the next thing, that next extra thing. So this is my thing. First things first, to beat this whole Section 8 mentality is we need to start allowing our kids to stay with us before after the age of 18, while they go to college, while they go through the service, while they do a lot of these other things that they're supposed to be doing in life. We need to start telling our kids it's okay to shelter at home because you're supposed to be a loving parent. And yes, you can't do it all on your own. I understand that. But at the same time, what you're supposed to be doing is help advance your kids into the next stage of life. So what they need somebody to help them. They need somebody to tell them like, hey, so we're going to hunker down at home. We're going to make these house payments. So I'm going to keep up my mortgage payments and stuff like that I started before you were born, after you were born, whatever, once you got your life together. But what we're going to do is we're going to come together. We're going to buy a house. This is what we need to start doing in our community, is buying our houses together. We need to start fixing up our life to suit what our kids are going to be able to handle, because I'm so tired of hearing people talk about what they can't have in life and how hard life is. Life starts with you. The traditions start with you. Making our community a better place starts with you. So you're supposed to help your children go through life smoother. So what you're supposed to do is, if you don't own your house, you and your child come together, buy your house together. Forget the cars. Forget the Jordans. Forget all the other things in life. Forget all these other worldly things that shouldn't matter to you. Like, we need to start coming together and building, generational wealth. But people don't want to do that because it's not smoking. It's not drinking. It's not something that we call instant gratification. Buying a house doesn't look immediately entertaining. So you can't impress your friends by driving your house around. You can't wear your house to the club or no shit like that. So nobody wants to do this, but this is the process that we need to starting so we can pass it down to our kids. Give our kids something else to live for. So like I said, if you don't have a house yourself, you're supposed to tell your kid, hey, so look, the military, you can go apply for the military. You're supposed to tell your kid, like, hey, look, you can go to college. You can go start a trade. You can go to barber school. You can go to beauty school. You can go do a lot of things. But what you need to do is take this money, forget the cars, forget the clothes, forget all of this impressing people and stuff like that. Forget the vacations for a little bit. Until you turn 23, we're going to be buying this house. So you and your child or children together will start putting money in on this house. Once the house is bought, then y'all can pass this down. This will help your children start to have something in life, because honestly, in our community, we literally pass nothing down to our kids. And the first thing that we think whenever somebody does give us a house is to sell it. We need to start teaching each other. We need to start preaching to each other like what things are in life, because all the Section 8 does is breed a lazy mentality. All it does is put you further into the thought process of you need to have, you not even need, but you get so used to the lifestyle of not getting up and working, not getting up and doing things, that all you do is spend your life making more babies. So like I said, between 3 to 7 babies, why is that acceptable? And no, the Section 8 program should not be used for this purpose. The Section 8 program should not be, and if you're not from Louisville, Kentucky, we have a government program called Section 8, which is lesser payments on houses or whatever you call government funded houses and stuff like that, whatever. But like I said, we need to start breeding a mentality of getting off of this Section 8, because all it does is put you and your kids inside of a box thinking type of mentality. You're limiting yourself, and nobody wants to see you have 3 to 7 kids on Section 8 dollars, because I go to work for mine. The next person go to work for theirs. You start to wonder why white people look at us like, hey, they don't do nothing. They lazy. Y'all don't understand the tax thing as deeply as the next person that works understand it, because y'all not in that mentality of actually working. So whenever white people are talking down on y'all, it seems like, these things are crazy or whatnot, because yes, we do need Section 8 housing for us to make it. Let me make that very clear. For our kids to make it in our community, I don't see it, because the parents are way too lazy. We need the Section 8 housing, because if it wasn't for Section 8, I would have been hungry. If it wasn't for Section 8 and all the government programs, I would have been hungry, homeless, so many other things. So people start to look at me like, I don't know what I'm talking about, because, they've never thought about the complexity of the things that I think about. But at the same time, I get tired of seeing the debate between white folk and black folk about people being lazy, people being this and being that. But at the same time, people need to start understanding that, we need to start doing something for ourselves. We need to start working. We need to start doing things that progress our dollars that much more, because let's be honest, what does the Section 8 program do besides shelter you for a little bit? And yes, I know it's a great thing. I know it's supposed to be used to help people get up on their feet. But at this point in time, I'm so tired. At this point in time, I'm so tired of seeing these Section 8 houses that got 7 kids in it. And when you go and see the 7 kids, they the most dustiest, dirtiest kids in the world. And I hate to say that about kids, because I was one of those kids. I hate going around seeing family members who got 9 kids and 8 kids and 7 kids and stuff like that. Like it truly does hurt me to see that they kids is growing up the way that I was raised. And that shit really makes me emotional, and it hurts my feelings so bad that the parents, and yes, it is an individual mentality, but the parents sit around and they let the situation get so bad. They done had 3 to 7 kids, and now the 7 kids is sitting there broke, damn near on the verge of being homeless. The only reason they got a shelter over their head is because of Section 8. And like I said, this shit makes me kind of emotional because it really does hurt to see this process repeat. And honestly, I'm so at the point of where I want to see Section 8 gone that it's ridiculous, because I don't want to see this Section 8 shit no more. It truly makes me want to cry sometimes, because I'm so tired of going to the West End and seeing my cousins. I'm so tired of going around the South End and stuff like that and seeing family members that are so down bad and they kids are in the worst situation, worst circumstances that you could possibly imagine. That shit really hurts me, because Section 8 done breeded a lazy mentality, and y'all wouldn't want to admit it because y'all so happy to be on Section 8. But let's be honest, those kids that y'all used to talk bad about in school, they parents were on Section 8. They parents were doing this and that on foods with the food stamps and the this and that. Like, it hurts my heart so bad to see this routine to keep repeating itself over and over and over. I want the shit gone, to be honest, because I know you're not going to be homeless and have 9 kids. I just know you're not. I know that if you ain't got the government to back you up with the food stamps, to back you up with the Section 8, you ain't going to be dumb enough to go out here and have 9 kids. Because why? You still want to do your smoking. You still want to do your drinking and drugging. And let's not act like anybody in our community does the smoking and drinking properly. Y'all tell me how properly, because I have the biggest problem in the world with the smoking and drinking and stuff like that, because for whatever reason in the world, smoking and drinking takes so much priority over your kids that it's fucking ridiculous that y'all can't take the time to actually care about y'all fucking kids for more than 20 minutes. Y'all so selfish that from the beginning, January 1st, to the very last month of the year, that y'all smoking and drinking so much, whenever school wraps back around, y'all talking about, well, hard times. I can't afford it right now. You can't get the best Jordans. You can't get the clothes that the other kids get because I ain't really got it like that. No, you got it like that. You just fumbled the bag. You're constantly and consistently fumbling the bag so much because you done breeded yourself in a instant gratification type of era, and that's what's wrong with our community. We're so much looking for instant gratification. We ain't trying to buy houses. We're trying to buy Hellcats. We're trying to get Jordans. We're trying to do everything in the world but actually take care of responsibility. And this is the fucked up thing. I hope all 5 people that are watching right now stay on here real quick. But this is the fucked up thing. When you actually look at the situation, people actually do mentally put themselves first in front of their kids and don't realize it. That's the part that I want y'all to key in. They don't realize that they actually put themselves in front of their kids, because I had a parent, and I'm not going to tell you which one, but when that parent went out and they ate, they mentally told themselves that their children ate. And it's like, hey, I didn't eat. You ate that day, and you assumed that since you ate that day, that I also ate that day. Well, how I ate, and thank you God for the school programs for letting us eat, because our parents can't fork over $2 a day for us to be able to eat. But I sat around watching parents go out and live a good life, and because they're so much having a good life, they're telling themselves mentally that, hey, my child is also living a good life as well, because they are living a good life. And this is the thing about the parenting thing. People don't realize nobody's calling you a bad person, because I think that's where y'all really get things mixed up about this whole parenting thing that I have a conversation about. Y'all looking at yourself like, hey, man, I'm a good person at heart. I don't mean anybody any harm. I try my best. But that's not what the conversation is about. When you go out and you smoke and you drink every day, when you go out and you do everything in the world that you want to do, and you always consistently put your children on the back burner, let me ask you, in a 7-month span, how many times have you been able to tell your kids, hey, I don't got it right now, so we can't do it like that? But understand, this is 7 months. You telling me that over a span of 7 months, you couldn't get nothing together? You couldn't do anything, and a lot of y'all on a reduced living, got some type of food stamp, some type of this, and that. And if you don't, please don't attack this conversation as if I'm talking to you, because a lot of y'all like to jump in front of this bullet like, oh, well, I'm not the one that this, and that. And just because you don't understand the situation don't mean that I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. If you're the one that actually works, I'm not talking about you. If you actually take care of your kids and try to take care of your kids, I'm not talking to you. Nobody is lending advice to somebody that's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, y'all want to make it about who said y'all supposed to send y'all kids to private school or what religion, like that. Nobody's arguing about what you feed your children for breakfast or what time nobody's suggesting that type of shit to y'all. What they are suggesting y'all do is like, hey, come off the drugs, some. Put your kids first, some. But y'all don't want to listen to that because that's too into your business. And what you're meaning to say is like, hey, I'm still a good person at the end of the day. I still got a good heart at the end of the day. But that's not the issue. The issue is that you consistently, as a parent, keep putting yourself in front of your kids and not loving your kids. Because let me ask y'all something. If your child was born with asthma, you can't wash smoke off of your body. You can't get rid of smoke. You can't take that shit off your body. No matter how many baths you take, no matter how many showers you take, you are affecting your child. But do you know what I see whenever I'm riding down the street in the middle of winter? I'm seeing grown-ass people, parents, riding in the car with their younger children. I'm talking about young children, smoking with the windows up because, yes, it's cold outside. You telling me that you couldn't even wait till you got out the car? How long is a drive from one place to another place? You couldn't smoke beforehand. You can't do that afterhand. You couldn't do this any other time but when you were closed and confined in with your child. But this is the thing. You can't get smoke off your body. So if the doctor tells you that your child was born with asthma, if the doctor tells you that your child was born with asthma, you sitting there putting your baby up on your shoulder, men and women in this account, like you putting the baby up on your shoulder, right on the smoke on your body. Thank you. I'm so happy that somebody at least put that together. But do you know how many people that I also still see smoking while they're pregnant? You know, boyfriends smoking while their girlfriend's pregnant and stuff like that. Like, smoking and drinking drives so much priority to y'all. It's so heavy at the top of y'all priority list. But if somebody comes and says anything to you, it's because they don't understand what it's like being a parent. This ain't got nothing to do with who has kids and who doesn't have kids, because y'all like to attack me about who doesn't have kids. This shit ain't got nothing to do with who's a parent and who's not a parent. It's called conscience. Start realizing that you can't do everything that you want to do just because you want to do it. You have children that depend on you. You have people that look up to you. They're looking for you to make the right decisions. But if it ain't smoking, if it ain't drinking, if it ain't some form of instant gratification, then it ain't right for y'all. It ain't okay for y'all if it ain't some form of instant gratification. But back to why, like I said, back to circling it around, what does a person on Section 8 have in their life? What do they do for fun in their life besides fighting? Besides smoking, besides drinking? Y'all tell me what y'all family members do. Since y'all don't want to take accountability for yourself, take accountability for y'all peoples. And I ain't saying go say nothing to them, but all I'm asking you to do is sit there and look at the next person and what they're doing. Look at the next person and how they're treating their situation. And you'll start to understand, like, man, this person does not deserve to have Section 8, because the whole point, the whole purpose of Section 8 is for you to get up on your feet. You're not trying to get up on your feet with Section 8. You're looking at this. We in our community look at Section 8 as a way of living. Okay, I get the LIHEAP. I get the food stamps. I get the this program. I get the that program. I'm getting all of these things because I had a child at a young age. We need to start, and it's not about y'all. This is the big part. It's not about y'all. We need to start practicing telling our kids, hey, don't go out and do these things that I did when I was younger, because all it's going to do is put you behind the ball. Here, we're going to sign you up for a military. We're going to sign you up for some type of something that puts you ahead. When you come back home from the military, that's going to bring you $500 extra per week or per month. I can't remember which one it is. But then we're going to send you out to school. We're going to go get you a trade. We're going to go send you to college. Please stop telling these kids that college ain't meant for everybody. I work at UPS right now. I done worked factory jobs my entire life. Anybody that's ever worked at a factory job knows it's not fun. But then you get to go and look at y'all nail techs. Y'all nail techs are just sitting there painting. They ain't got to deal with nobody's BS. They just got to deal with attitudes and whatever else they got to deal with. Look at all the cushy jobs. Somebody becoming I'm trying to think of the word where they pop pimples, the waxings and stuff like that. Females, if y'all can help me out, y'all know what I'm talking about. The esthetician, I think. But you know, these are easier jobs that make y'all kids a whole bunch of money. And this will put them in front of the ball. And then you work with your child. Y'all provide each other with a livable condition to where y'all can buy the house together. And then from that point on, teach the tradition of passing down this house to the next generation, so the next generation won't have to worry about struggling and buying a house. But you know, this has been So What's the Issue, and I'm your boy Solo Fall. I went over the bit because I had the viewers and stuff like that. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'm gonna read y'all comments. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.